give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. To the Most High be the glory and honor. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shalom, Shalom. I want to welcome everyone to the West African Hebrew Israelites, the hidden identity. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's teachings. I bless the name of the Most High. Father, I adore you. Father, I praise you. Father, I worship you. For unto you be thy glory, unto you be thy praise, unto you be thy adoration. Father, I magnify your holy name. I adore you. I thank you for this privilege. I thank you for this favor. I thank you for everything that you are doing each and every day in our life. Father, from the bottom of my heart, I say I praise you. And Father, I thank you for the life, for our viewers, for our subscribers. Thank you, blessing them. Thank you for everything. Thank you for giving them the understanding. Aroha, without you, one will not understand. Father, I praise your holy name. Thank you for great impact that you are having in our lives. And the centerpiece or the message that you are giving unto us each and every day, because of your salvation, because of your lovely Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, the second coming of Yeshua. I know that is the reason why we have to awaken it. We have to accept you as our Lord and personal Savior. So, Father, thank you and I bless your holy name. I will take this opportunity and say, Toda Rabbah, from the bottom of my heart. That would be the thank you for Ashkenazi Jews word when we went to Israel, when they said Toda Rabbah. That means thank you. So, that would be the word of the Ashkenazi. Talk of the Ashkenazi. Recently, I think one of the subscribers came and the comment or the argument was, why am I saying shalom, shalom? And shalom is for Ashkenazi Jews, but it's not our word or it's not our language. When I say shalom, or when one says shalom, shalom means peace. Shalom means peace. And let's dig deep about the shalom. When we read the book of John or John 14:27, it says, Shalom I live with thee, my shalom I give to thee, not as the world giveth, give I to thee. Do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be fear, like fearful, be fearful. So shalom there is like peace. So peace I live unto you, not as the world give, but the peace, that peace is from on high. Most High is giving you peace. So that is the word shalom. But the actual spelling, the well known now is SHALOM. So that's shalom. Then when we go to the book of Genesis chapter 14 verse 18 about the shalom, we have this popular verse, or if you haven't read the Torah or you haven't come across it, I don't know, but it says Genesis 14, let's see, it's 14 verse 18. Genesis 14 verse 18. It says, and Melchizedek or Melchizedek, the king of Shalom, Salom. So it's not SH by S. Salom. It's SALEM. Salom. Brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God Elohim. So the prince of the peace of the king, or so like his name became like the Prince of Peace, like describing Yeshua. So Melchizedek or Melchizedek. So the same thing. But in the book of Genesis, his name was not Shalom but Salom. SALME. So it is the same thing. Peace. Peace. So whether it's Shalom or Salom, it's the same thing. So I'm not king of peace. I'm not here to please anyone. I'm here to praise I'm not here to praise anyone, sorry, but I'm here to praise the Most High, because it's very, very important for us to bring the message to appease the Father, the message that the Father have sent us to be able to deliver. So a lot of time it won't sit right to one, but again, the Father has delivered or giving us a message we have to deliver. So I tend to say it a lot. If it's not, you are not pleased by it, just you can check the facts. And again, anything that you say, I think the most important thing we have to understand the message of the Most High. So whether it's Shalom or Salom is about peace. So I'm saying Shalom, Shalom. That means may the peace be with you, or the like you have to be in peace. So that is the shalom, shalom, or salom, 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 salom. I hope that's it right with you. This one is just by the way. Today our teachings will be based on the women of Zion women, the women of Zion, or Zion women. The appearance of Zion women, and about salvation, appearance of the Zion women, women of Zion, or Hebrew women, or women of Israel appearing and salvation. Before then, like we do all the time, let's read one of the covenant that the Father have with us, or have for us. Today our covenants will go straight to the book of Psalm 78 verse 1. Psalm 78 verse 1. You can take your Bible with me. It says the covenant of Yahweh. Covenant of Yahweh. It says, give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. If you ask me, this is very powerful. It says what? Give ear give ear, oh my people, being the Zion or Israelites, or the children of Jacob, Israel, to my law. He is giving us a law. Incline your ears to what? To the words of my mouth. The words of my mouth. So every word from Genesis to Revelation is not any human being words, but it's the words of the Most High, and these very words came from his mouth. He breathed, he inspired people to write his words. So we have to give ears, we have to give reverence, we have to pay attention, we have to obey his very words. So this will be one of the covenants that we have to obey. Like I said, we are doing the women of Zion, or we are doing the Hebrew Israelites women. Today the teachings will be based on women. Our appearance, whether our appearance appealing to the Most High, or the Most High agree the way we handle ourselves. So that will be today's teachings, or the topic. So we have a first map on the screen right now. The map that we have on the screen, it does not mean we have 3 circles going on the screen on the map. It does not mean that I'm saying this area are the only area you can find the children of Jacob or Jacob. No. But I think 99.9% of our teachings that we have done so far is spread around this area. I think that would be fair for me to say. So that's the reason why we have this map, or we brought this map on the screen. So let's see the next one. The next one, forgive us, is kind of blur, but again, that would be unique African map that we did find. But just it's kind of barely shake a little bit. So you can see from Israel on top, that would be the northeast of Africa. It's spread, the winds like spread where we have done so far, and you can find the children of Israel, you can find the Zion people there, the children of Israel, the children of Jacob there. So that's the reason why we brought these 2 maps, the first map and second map, to show. And again, it does not mean different area does not have Israel there, or the descendants of Jacob there. It does not mean that at all. So forgive me. Because of what our forefathers and our foremothers did, whether they did right or wrong in the sight of the Most High, that's the reason why we are about to do these teachings today. We need to understand certain things, and everything that we do, even to our children and to our siblings and to our peers, certain words when you say to them, one will say, oh, are you cursing me? Or one will say, like, because when we say curse things, it tends to come back to us. I hope what I'm trying to say does make sense. So we have to watch every word that spoken words that come from the mouth of the Most High. Being Hebrew, being Israel, being the descendant of Jacob, you have to pay attention. We have to be very careful what Yah said. I'm not saying what people say, but what the word, what the Torah said, what the Tanakh said. We have to be very, very careful and obey the rules and regulations. Keep the covenant, keep the commandments, whether it's the 10 commandments or if you go to the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 22, how it tells, I say the fruit, not fruits, fruit of the spirit, that 9 fruit, I mean things that we have to carry. This channel, when you subscribe to this channel, trust me, you will not get bored, because I know that the message that each and every time Musa will bless us is something deep, that if you want to dig deep, you will dig deep. So let's go on. Let's read the Bible. Let's go to the book. Let's take our Bibles and go to Psalm 78 verse 10. Let's see. We can start reading from I think 2 or 3 up to 28.
Told us, we will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God, and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of God, and refused to walk in his law, and forgat his works, and his wonders that he had shown them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as an heap. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness, and gave them drink as out of the great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock, and caused the waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted God in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Yea, they spake against God. They said, Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in God, and trusted not in his salvation. Though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels of food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. So they did eat, and were...
Yeah, we need to read from 3 up to the 28. It's about the children of Ephraim, but I'm not doing the tribe of Ephraim. Like only the tribe of Ephraim were the tribe who sins. If you read Psalm 78, is from the 9. It said the children of Ephraim began to what Ammon and what crying, carrying bold, and with their all war. So we are not doing the tribe as they are sinners only, but this will be the daughters of Zion, the daughters of Zion, the children of Zion, the daughters of Zion. So why do we have to read this? Because our forefathers and our foremothers, they tend to sin. They sin time and time, and they didn't regard the words of the Mosiah or the Torah. They don't care about anything. That whether the chastisement came upon them or the punishment came upon them, we will see and we will know the consequences of one being sin or one called as a sinner in the sight of the Most High. Yahweh does not want any one of us to be sin. Having a sinful nature, that's not what he wants at all. When you read the book of Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 11, it say even he doesn't appreciate a sinner, the death of a sinner. Let's see. And I read Ezekiel 33, verse 11, say unto them, that means says that the words of the Most High, say unto them, as I live, says the Lord Yahweh, God Elohim, I have no pleasure in the death of the sinners, or the wicked, the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his ways and live. He said, for the wicked turn from the wicked ways and live. Turn ye from your evil ways. Turn from your evil ways. For why will ye die, O house of Israel? So the Father does not want us to live in sin at all. Or when we die in sin, he does not appreciate it. House of Israel. So the daughters of Zion, Yah does not want us to sin. So, but before we read more the sin thing, we have another picture on the screen right now. This one is the time our forefathers and our foremothers sin, and the Assyrians came and the Babylonians came and took them in captives. The first picture that we have on the screen right now is like the mirror museum thing, like they use cement to carve this. So the one on the top, you can see let's treat the yellow arrow first. The arrow on the right is pointing. You can see our forefathers hanging on the pole on the top of the wall. You can see like shooting the arrow on them and they die. On the one on the left again on the top, you can see the enemy use ladder. You can see the drawing of ladder climb to go get them on the wall on the top, and some are falling. So the yellow arrow on top again, you can see we have 3 arrows put it together. Even some of them, they slaughter them, like chop their head and all that. Is gruesome sin, but we have to break this thing. The consequence of sin, we have to bring it for you to see. So the bottom one, the 2 pictures that we put it together. One on the left, you can see they capture our forefathers, and they were holding the city of Jerusalem, the city of the land of Israel, the city of Jerusalem. You can see the wall. So the one on the bottom right, the same wall, that will be the replica. Now they have the Ashkenazi have it on the land, the special place that they have built the whole city of Jerusalem with they say how it used to be or look like. Again, so that's the reason why we put these 2 pictures together. Why will our forefathers have to hold the wall or the city in their hand? I don't think the time they captured them, they have the city in their hand, but they are masters, being the people who captured them, or the city and the king who captured them. They have to write a story. So as they draw the people this time or this dispensation or this year, they capture them, they have to draw where they came from. So when you see what they are holding, that you know these people are Hebrews, these people are Israelites, the sons of the Zion. So you can see. But as what we have on the screen, even, and again you can see the appearance that these people are not white, but they are what? Black men. They are black men. So let's move on. Or people with a pigment, a darker skin tone people. And we have the same thing on the screen right now. This one, you can see our forefathers were on the top and on the screen, and they have the city in their hand. So on the bottom left, we have the green arrow. You can see, though it's old wall drawing or like molding with the cement thing, you can see the wall as a shape with the replica or the modern one that they did. The Ashkenazi have built on the land. You can see the same wall. So these are the proof that we have that people were, we are the Hebrew Israelites. So our forefathers were the people, the biblical, the actual people of the Bible. And they sin time and time. The sin was so grievous in the sight of the Most High, and he sent the king of Assyria to capture them. Send the king of Assyria to capture them and take them into captivities. We have another one on the screen right now, and this very one we have only 2 arrows. You can see, just pay attention and see. Even when you look closer, you can tell these people are darker skin, so they are not white men or white women. So as the soldiers of the Assyrians will tag them with, they have spear, just tag them in their back and all that. And the one on the right bottom, you can see he surrender. Both arm on the top. I mean, they have to put up a fight anyway, but because it's the will of the Most High for them to go into captivities, they did not listen. So this what will happen to them. So that's what we are seeing on the screen right now. We have this picture on the screen. I said we are doing the daughters of the Zion, daughters of Zion. So why all these pictures? So we need to have understanding of when we sin. There's no small sin. There's no middle sin. Sin is sin, and sin, the Most High sees as a grievous thing, like hard thing. So we human, we tend to measure sins to excuse ourselves from certain things. But the sight of the Most High, sin is sin. So it's very, very important, as we show earlier on, what our forefathers did, and we read Psalm 78, 10 up to 28. We understand that sin. We have to have to understand that sin, Most High does not take it lightly. In the sight of the Most High, is serious business. So let's move on. The picture on the screen right now, you can see Lamentation 5:10. It says, our skin was black like and what oven, because of what our terrible famine. So the one on the right, we brought these people being the white men that you can see because of famine, they don't have enough to eat, so they are lean, you can see. But when we read the book of Lamentation, it tells us like our forefathers were saying because of the famine, their skin was darker. So why we have the right one being Europeans, and because of famine, but their skin is not darker. And we tend to believe that Ashkenazi are the biblical people. Why? Because when you read the book of Psalm 119, 83, it talk about the darker appearance. We have so many verses. Even Job chapter 30, verse 30, it talk about Job, his skin was darker. So let's look at the one on the left. The one on the left, we can see the black men and women. You can tell how their skin was dark. They are people of melanin, they are darker skin tone. But this Lamentation 5:10 and Lamentation 4:8 fit them than the Europeans. You can see, you can be the judge for yourself. So when we see the Ashkenazi on the land, it doesn't bother me that much, because the Father, or when you read the Torah, it tells us clearly, the Father, Yeshua, will come and will take us to himself. But on the way, we have to prepare before we get to that point. So it's not about me argue or disagree with why they are in the land, why they are this. No, it does not matter, because I cannot do anything. But the Father, the Most High, can do something about it. What he can do is he will take us to himself and what? Possess the land for us, take the land and give the land to us. He will place us there. He was the one who come and take us and place us on the land. So we have to do something. That's what we are about to do. We will have to obey the rules and regulations. So just be the judge. Just something small. Both Lamentation 4:8 and Lamentation 5:10 describe the skin tone. So which one does it fit? If a European or white man got sick, even if they starve to death, their skin won't get darker. So even they will be pale as white paper. Okay, but people of melanin like us, if I don't have enough to eat, as I'm getting sick, after I'm getting sicker, I'll be darker. My skin will get burned more. So that's their language, and that's what we are seeing. So that is the reason why we brought this picture to show it to you guys. Let's move on. Let's read the book of 2 Kings 17, read from 7 to 12. Okay, and I read 2 Kings chapter 17. I already said the 7a. It say, "For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord Yahweh, their God Elohim, which had what brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hands of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had what fear other gods, like free other gods." And because of time, I want her to read up to the 17, but because of time, I will see whether we have to read it. Let's leave that one, please. If you have time, just you read it by yourself, and let's go straight to the book of Amos, Amos chapter 2, read 6 and 7. And I read Amos chapter 2, verse 6. That says the Lord Yahweh, for three transgression of Israel, and for four I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they sold their righteousness for silver, and the poor for a pair of shoes. So this is what the children of Israel did. Time and time they tend to say, but this time the father said no, he will not turn his eyes from it. Then the 7, that paint after the dust of the earth, and had what heard of a poor, and turn aside the ways of the meek, turn aside from the way of uniqueness, meekness, neatness, and righteousness, and men and his father will go into the same manner, and profane their holy name. Like, even because of our deeds, because of our attitude. So you see things going wrong, sour, like being fornication. So let's go on. We have the first picture on the screen right now, and when one set their eyes on this picture, wow, these women are so beautiful. The daughters of Zion, they are so beautiful. They dress, they cover themselves, they do this, blah blah blah. But there's an issue. I'm not the one who is saying it, but the Father is saying it, the Most High is saying it. The way we dress, it does not appeal to Him. We are not dressing meekness, we are not dressing righteousness, we are not dressing modestly. That's not His will. So what is wrong with this picture? Number one, the makeup, two, the earrings and the necklace, being the chain and all that. It's not easy it's like a big blow to the tummy for one to hear this. It is a big blow, but the Father said no, 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 no. And so let's see about the earrings first. Read the earring. Let's see the book of Exodus chapter 21. We read from 1 up to 6. And I read, if Exodus chapter 21 from 1 up to 6. Now those are the judgments which they shall set before them. These are the judgments that they shall set before them. 2, if they buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years had he shall serve, and on the seventh he shall go out freely from nothing, free for nothing, free for nothing. Then 3 say, if he in by him he shall go out by himself. Like, if he come in by himself, he shall go in by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. Then 4, if his master have given him wife, and shall have born him a son. I'll cut that one out. I think it's kind of lengthy. I want trying to cut the video. So let's jump into 6. It said, then his master shall bring him. If he decided, which is the 5, if he decided that he's not going, he have married, have the children, he's not going, then his master shall bring him to the door, the judgment door, and to the post, the door. Let me take my time and read that one. Then his master shall bring him unto the judge. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the door post, and his master shall bear his ear through his what own arrow, and he shall serve him forever. Like so, the master will take him, a Hebrew person, and his master will take him to the door, to the judge, and to the door. That the judges will be witness, and to the door, and pierce his ears. So we don't wear earring. That's the earring that is not our style. This is what the words of the Musa tells us. And you can read Deuteronomy chapter 15, 12 up to 17. It talk about the same thing. So let's move on. We have another picture on the screen right now, and this picture is beautiful. You can see the women dressed nice again. These ones, they don't have earrings. They don't have earrings. But as we are doing these teachings, as the research, I realized that wow, it's very hard for Zion, daughters of Zion, to come out without makeup. Like it's very, very hard. Like you barely see women, daughters of Zion, coming out without makeup. So we have these pictures that we put it together, and you can see all of them have something. Have something out there. It can be assured or whatever it is. They have something out there, but wrapping their hair without earrings. Wrapping their hair without earrings. So let's see what the Torah or the Tanakh or the words of the Moses, his mouthpiece, as we read in the book of Psalm 78, verse 1. It says what? We have to hear the word is from his mouth. So let's hear when you read the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 30.
Spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee. They will seek thy life.
You see, the Torah cover everything. When they are spoiled, what will they do? Though they would clothe themselves with this garment or the precious thing and this ornament, they tend to paint themselves for them to be placed to be able to have that peaceful or pleasing themselves. Even their lovers despise them. Who is your lover? One will say like physical husband, boyfriend, whatever you may call it. But I see it's here. Most cannot stand us. He will turn his face against us. It's not easy at all for one to have this mindset that I'm going to go makeup free, earring free, this free, this free. It's not easy. But it's the will of the Most High. I rather obey the will of the Most High than what people say. When you accept or you just have this lifestyle, people will just it's like be on you. Everybody will have their own saying. Oh, what's wrong with you? You are this ugly. I mean, all the names in the book. But you are doing it to please the will of the Most High. So this is what Most High is saying. Even your lover, they wish they can kill you. Most High does not want you to die. And when you die without obeying him, you end up in hell. This is the message from the Most High. So please, let's do the will, because you are a child of Zion, a daughter of Zion. You have accepted Yeshua HaMashiach as your Lord and personal Savior. Let's place him. Let's place him down, placing our fellow men or placing ourselves, because this all we think the word has given us is beauty, but to the eyes of the Most High is trash. It is trash. We'll read there. So let's go back to the first picture that we show. We have it on the screen right now. I forgot about something. The necklace, which is the chain. When you read the book of Isaiah 52, verse 2, let's read it. And I read Isaiah 52, verse 2. It says, awake, awake. So I read from the one, sorry. Awake, awake, put on their strange, O Zion, put on the beauty garment, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For theirs there shall no more come into the unclean uncleanness and the uncleanness and the unclean. So as you put on the beauty garment, and we will see the beauty garment, I'll read it there again. So the two, it says, shake thyself from the dust, arise and set down, O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of their neck, O captives, captive daughter of Zion. Say, loose that thing off from your neck. The necklace is not our thing, but the Messiah is the one he will beautify us. He will cover us with his glorious ornaments. We'll read that for us to understand that this appearance that the word has given us for us to dress, and we think that is beauty. Messiah is the one that he has to put on this beauty on us, not ourselves. No, you go to the store and buy these things and put on you. I must say it's easy to quit all this. It's not easy at all. It's not easy. From the earrings, from the wedding band, from the rings and all that, it's not easy at all. But trust the Messiah. Don't say, I'm not going to say trust me. Trust the Messiah. You can do it, and he will beautify you. You will dress, and people will think you have whatever you have on, because the beauty will come from inside out. Trust the words of the Messiah. So we have the next picture on the screen right now, and this will be the last picture on the screen. And salvation. We are doing this to please the words of the Messiah, or to praise the will of the Messiah, the Father. This is the beauty that the Messiah is looking for. We put 6 pictures together. Though the women, you can see all dressed in the farm or in the field working, but you can see, and let's be honest to ourselves, you can see the beauty on their faces. They don't wear earrings, there's no makeup, there's no necklace that is in their neck. That's what Mosiah is looking for. When we have to come to his house, that's what we are dressing. We in our houses, this is like 24/7. This our dressing. There won't be any earring, there won't be any necklace or chain or makeup or lipstick. The worst one will be just lip gloss, Vaseline or shea butter. Just put it on your lips. That's what the Mosiah require. Because as the previous picture that we did show, our forefathers and our foremothers did disobey, and they went in deep punishment. That time they went in the physical Babylon and order and Egypt. But this time, because you don't know where you will die, Yeshua HaMashiach is coming very soon. Even when it's rapture, and you are not obeying the will of the Father, ignorance doesn't cut, because you don't know. It's a lack of knowledge. Hosea forces my people perish. And you want to read the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. It says, I can do all things through Yeshua HaMashiach who strengthens me. So Yeshua who can strengthen, he will strengthen you for you to be able to stand firm and do his will. Please, let's obey the will of the Most High. Please. And let's read the book of Ezekiel chapter 16. Ezekiel 16 verse 12. We'll see the beauty. And I read, and I put a jewel on their forehead and earrings in their ears and a beauty crown upon their head. So this is what the words of the Father is telling us, the words of the Most High. He's the one who puts that jewelry on our foreheads, that beauty jewelry on their foreheads and their ears, and he will put a crown, beauty crown on our head. That will be our reward, because good and faithful servant as we obey. Please, let's be able to groom in the word of the Most High. Let's do his will. It is very, very important. And when I read the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2, 9 and 10, because I said I don't want the video to be long. That's the reason why we have so many Bible verses like we can read to confirm what the Most High wants us to do. When you read it, it tells us clearly, let our beauty come in. You adorn yourself, not the physical appearance, but in what is very, very important. So let's fix ourselves from inside out. This is what the Father wants us to dress. As you see on the screen, daughters of Zion, this is our dressing. This is supposed to be our appearance. The children of the Most High, we are going to a better place. So let's reject the will of the world and embrace the will of the Father. Please, please, please. It's not easy. If I sit down here because I'm doing this teaching, I'm going to say it's easy. I just lie through my teeth. It's not easy at all. But with the will of the Father and the strength of the Most High, Yeshua HaMashiach, his Son, he strengthened us. As his word tells us, Philippians 4:30, he said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, through Yeshua who strengthens me. So please, please, we can do it. We can do it. And if you are daughters of Zion and you have not accepted Yeshua HaMashiach as your Lord and personal Savior, please do so now. Very soon trumpet will sound. Please, please. I didn't know he won't listen. I'm sorry, he won't listen. Nothing will cut. Nothing will cut. Because remember his word. He said, lack of knowledge, my people perish. Because you lack that knowledge. He needs a lack of knowledge, so I'll forgive my people later. He said, lack of knowledge, my people perish. Our forefathers and our foremothers fall into this victim. Please do not allow yourself to fall into these victims. Devil is trying to push us, pull us, and we are the weaker vessel, daughters of Zion. He's using us for his what? His gain. Please do not allow yourself to be in this victim. Please, I pray that this message has blessed you, being a daughter of Zion. I pray that you understand the message, the way the Father intended for you to understand it. May Yah bless you and keep you. The word of the day, it says, seek the Father. And the book of Lamentation 3, 22, 23, it says, it is of the Lord mercy that we are not consumed. Oh, what a powerful message. Because his compassion fail not. They are new every morning. Great is their faithfulness. Great is the faithfulness of the Father. It is so powerful. I am so grateful for everyone that watches my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing the videos. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. In Yeshua's name. Shalom, everyone. Bye-bye.